But for some time, fans had hoped that Nasty C's partnership with Def Jam would be the one to successfully break a South African rapper into that specific market. But things aren't looking good.
Yo, when he says things aren't looking good, I'm worried because now the label itself invested a bunch of cash, a bunch of money into Nasty C to make sure that he breaks the US market, right? As far as hip hop is concerned or whatever. Now, if he says it's not looking too good, that kind of tells me that the label ran a loss on Nasty C, and somehow they gotta make their money back. So that doesn't sound too good. I'm worried already. Yo, welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brian Sivana. Tonight we're reacting to Nasty C. Is Def Jam failing Nasty C? I don't know. We're about to find out. Yeah, feel me. Well, if you don't know now, you know. Nasty been signed to Def Jam for a couple of years now, and yeah, obviously the thumbnail, caught my eye. The title, caught my attention. So yeah, I'm here now. Might as well. If I'm gonna watch it, I might as well react to it. So Nasty C. Let's see what the fuck going on. Yeah, feel me.
And so, when STC signed with Def Jam, he became the first and only South African rapper of his generation with an international record deal. And given STC's position in African hip-hop at the time, fans believed that an international record deal would help him break into hip-hop's #1 market, being America, which he has admitted time and time again to be aiming for.
What's up, man? My name is Nasty C, all the way from South Africa. I am in LA right now, trying to link up with as many artists as I can. I'm actually here to finish my album, but I figure, here's the thing, I've always told my label that I wanted to kind of step.
Which album was he talking about? Was he talking about Zulu Man with Some Power, or the one that he dropped recently? Which one is it?
My album, but I figure, here's the thing, I've always told my label that I wanted to kind of establish myself out here and be a part of the culture out here, and just kind of plant my feet in the scene out here, you know? Because a lot of the music that comes out of here, a lot of the hip hop that comes out of here, when I say here, I don't mean just LA, I mean the States in general. That's the music that really inspired my music. And you can hear it when you listen to my music, so. I want to be a part of the culture out here, man. You know what I mean? And I feel like the most natural way for me to do that is to reach out to all the artists, not just artists that are like big and have made it and stuff like that, but artists who are on my caliber, and I mean out here, because I'm big back at home, but out here no one really knows me, so I'm up and coming out here. That's why I say, even if you're up and coming, man, just hit me up, you know? And I wanna work with as many artists as possible. I don't care if I end up doing 30 verses, 50 verses, that would be even better. I would like that, you know what I mean? So if you're a dope artist from out here in the States, hit me up. You know, my comment section.
Yeah, he linked up with a couple. I saw he made a joint with T.I.'s son. Forgot that light-skinned nigga name. I saw he made a song with T.I. himself as well. You feel me? He's been getting busy. That King song, that's probably my favorite Nasty C song with A$AP Ferg. That shit slapped. That shit was hard. I saw him in the studio with No ID and Big Sean. They never dropped that joint. He probably saving that joint for a later album, or maybe it's in Big Sean album. Who the fuck knows, bro? But yeah, I saw him touch down with a couple of rappers. I saw he was going back and forth on Twitter with Pora. I'm not sure if they made the song yet, because Pora was supposed to make a song with Reese, and then Nasty C kind of jacked Pora from Reese. I don't know what the fuck happened. Go Google that shit, bro. But yeah, he linked up with a couple of niggas, and yeah, I'm fine now. Let's talk about it.
My comment section, my DM. If you're in LA, it just makes more sense, man, because I'm here and we can shoot the video.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it makes sense. LA is like the capital of hip hop. I'm not gonna say that, but I will say LA is like, you feel me, the go-to place if you're trying to make it out, out the hood, as far as making it in the game. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to act, you probably go to Hollywood. But with the music, LA is the place to be, bro. LA is the place to be. So yeah, it makes sense why he moved to LA, or why he's in LA trying to finesse this music shit in LA internationally. Because everybody's there, so you might as well be around everybody. Shit, the fuck?
We can shoot the video. Same day, next day, drop the video. Next day, same day, it doesn't really matter.
Let's go.
But years later, fans have started questioning if Def Jam was the right label for Nasty C, as Nasty C's international growth hasn't grown to match fans' expectations. more especially growth in the American market. We South African fans had long wanted representation, as South African rappers only really dominated the continent and
Yeah.
have had a tough time establishing presence in the number one hip hop market in the world. But for some time, fans had hoped that Nasty C's partnership with Def Jam would be the one to successfully break a South
Facts.
African rapper into that specific market. But things aren't looking good.
Yo, when he says things aren't looking good, I'm worried because now the label itself invested a bunch of cash, a bunch of money, into Nasty C to make sure that he breaks the US market, right? As far as hip hop is concerned or whatever. Now, if he says it's not looking too good, that kind of tells me that the label ran a loss on Nasty C. They ran a loss and somehow they gotta make their money back. So that doesn't sound too good. I'm worried already.
You can understand this better by looking at Google Trends, which shows that searches for Nasty C peaked in 2021, but for 2022 and 2023, Nasty C dropped significantly, and there are technically no signs of improvement or even living up to
Damn.
2021, which is very worrying as Nasty C had just released an album. But even that album is showing no signs of impact on Nasty C's numbers, especially overseas. When you start to dig into Nasty C's listeners, you realize that Nasty C had listeners spread out through some continents, with a few thousand listeners in most US cities. But at the moment, cities like San Francisco, Denver, Detroit, Minneapolis, or even Vancouver and Calgary in Canada are back to zero. Literally zero. The same goes for Delhi or
Yo, that's not good for any party as far as the label or the artist. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the label invested money to blow this motherfucker up in the US. And if he's not blowing up, then what the fuck are we doing? We're losing money. As for Nasty C, it's also a bad thing because now it's like shit. My dreams and aspirations to penetrate the US market are not going according to plan. The fuck am I gonna do now? It's not looking too good for my boy. But knowing Nasty C, Zulu member some power, he's never gonna give up. It is what it is. He's just gonna ride it out.
Impal in India and some cities. And technically, yes, Nasty C still
Hold
has
on.
he had listeners spread out through some
The back
continents,
bit.
with a few thousand listeners in most US cities. But at the moment, cities like San Francisco, Denver, Detroit, Minneapolis, or even Vancouver and Calgary in Canada are back to zero. Literally zero. The same goes for Delhi or Impal in India and some cities. And technically, yes, Nasty C still has some listeners in these foreign countries, but they are fast running dry, with Nasty C's strongest base still being Africa, where he was already strong. In fact, strong enough to be the number one rapper for a few consecutive years. Some arguments are being made about Nasty C's latest album, which is controversial because some fans are defensive about it, whereas some fans argue that it doesn't live up to the standard that Nasty C had set for himself. With regards to the label specifically, fans have started wondering if Def Jam had different reasons for signing Nasty C as opposed to what we had initially thought. This comes as the US hip hop market is seen as having peaked and overly saturated, and fans now think
Let's keep it okay. Def Jam did actually push Nasty C. I mean, I saw Nasty C on a red carpet. Maybe it was in Hollywood or LA. I think it was a Justin Bieber Sundays or some shit, but Justin Bieber was there, bro. Like everybody was there. Nasty C was on that same red carpet. I feel like Def Jam did exactly what they had to do as far as, getting him in the right rooms with the right people somehow. You feel me? I saw Nasty taking pictures with a bunch of celebs, bro. People that I thought, damn, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, she took a picture with that nigga. Yo, that's him right there. He took a picture with him. So it's like, sheesh. To say that Def didn't really push Nasty like that, maybe they didn't push him as much as they should have. But one thing I'll tell you about these labels is that they have a bunch of artists in their roster. You know what I'm saying? And everybody has to get a chance to actually, show what they're about and, record as much music as they can and drop as much music as they can, pay for features that are important enough to put the album in a certain position. I mean, it's all about money at the end of the day. Like everything that has to go around in the business involves money. So we can't focus all our resources on one artist, yeah? And obviously, sometimes things are seasonal. It's probably, Cardi B season this month or this year or this next 3 months. And all I conclude with the Def Jam is a bunch of these major artists in there. You feel what I'm saying? So Nasty might not be, a priority in Def Jam. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking tricky. But to say that Def didn't really dollar what they had to, that'd be cap. I feel like they actually did push Nasty, maybe not as much as we had hoped they would. Damn.
More especially because Def Jam has also launched an African division in Africa for the first time and has been making signings. And this happened around the same time they signed Nasty C. Fans started having these thoughts when Nasty C said that he asked his label to help him with features in the States, but he felt they were taking too long to actually do it. So he ended up having to ask people himself.
Yeah,
no one knows I'm doing.
That's actually facts. It did take a bit of time for the label to warm up to Nasty C and actually push him, because he got signed to the label. And mind you, every time they announce signing an artist, it's not always like, okay, we just signed him today. No, it's usually they signed him, like months before, even a year or two before they announce it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't just say, yeah, we signed Nasty C yesterday, so congratulations. No. They always sign the artist before they announce the announcement, whatever.
Label to help him with features in the States, but he felt they were taking too long to actually do it. So he ended up having to ask people himself.
No one knows I'm doing. I asked my label to do this for me. Excuse me, but I asked them to recommend like artists for me to work with that are up and coming, so that it makes more sense. And I just feel like they're taking too long, man. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if they're overthinking it or whatever. I don't know. But they're taking too long. I asked my label, I asked a couple people that I work with, and they're just taking too fucking long, man. So that's why I wanted to do it like this. I hope this video makes it to all the dope artists that are out here. And we get some shit done, man. I'm excited. Let's get it.
Yep.
And almost 2 years later, there's nothing to show for it. The results are just disappointing, as Nasty C holds the key to the African market as the leading rapper on the continent, which then means that it should be easier to sell Nasty C to most US rappers who are looking to diversify, as it makes more sense from a talent and numbers perspective. If an overseas rapper wants to enter the African market,
that T.I. boy, the fuck am I talking about? Whatever.
There's not even one rapper that can offer the sort of reach that Nasty C has. For example, the biggest market for hip-hop in Africa is South Africa, and there are technically no more than a handful of rappers who have ever had 1 million monthly listeners, let alone have 1 million listeners for a few consecutive months. And Nasty C gaps 99% of the entire rap game in this country by over.
Well, who that boy? Who that boy? He was in Ambitious. Saudi. Yeah. Saudi did have 1 million above. I'm not sure now on Spotify. Shit, I might fuck around and check. Hold up. God damn it. Saudi, remember Saudi was in that album with Kendrick Lamar, that Black Panther album, and he had a song with 2 Chainz and what, Schoolboy Q on that song? Shit, me, I forgot. But you see now, that one song puts Saudi in a whole nother level, bro. You feel what I'm saying?
Such. However, recently, Nasty C seems to have changed his tune a bit, stating that he now only wants to work with people who have a voice that fits his. Although it doesn't mean the voice in literal meaning, but we assume whether or not the person would actually fit in with the style. In an interview with CNN.
I really don't want anyone to take offense to what I'm about to say, but I'm at a point where I don't really have a lot of people on my list. I was like, I want to work with this person. People are amazing, and I have favorite artists for sure who are just straight gods at what they do. But I'm okay with not having songs with them. I'm fine with just being a super fan of them. I just want to make music with people who have a voice that fits the song that I'm making. You don't have to be.
Yeah. I mean, he's been saying that though. He's been saying that he just wants to work with artists in general. You know what I'm saying? Not to say like big or small. He just said even up and coming artists. He did say that. So okay, let's not take that away from him. And my neighbors are fucking loud, bro. Like, these niggas need to shut the fuck up, bro. Like, seriously, they just got you. Like, literally just got you. They literally just got you, bro. Like, last month, you feel me? Like, they loud as fuck. And then I'm scared to tell them, yo, shut the fuck up. You feel what I'm saying? Because I feel like I don't want to be that guy. You dig? Like, bro, I don't want to be that neighbor. You feel? But Jesus Christ, I'm telling you, bro, it's getting to me. Fuck, I can't even record, for fuck's sakes.
Be a so-and-so from so-and-so. I don't care about that. If I find your voice to be exactly what I'm looking for because I can't deliver that, whether it's the raspiness or the sweetness in the voice that I'm looking for, let's do a song. I'm looking at it as like a beat is a canvas for me. and I have to paint something on top of it, right? I don't care where the brush comes from. It's the paint that I care about. That's how I look at it.
And although that sounds musically wise, some argue that Nasty C may run out of time. Stats show that he
Yo,
wise,
if y'all
some
remember
argue
this
that
freestyle was fire, bro.
Nasty C may run
Shit, I heard Chris Brown posted this shit on his stories. I mean, come on now.
out of time. Stats show that hip hop is set to decline massively on a global scale. If Nasty C doesn't
On a global scale, hip hop is starting to decline. I didn't know that. I knew that it'd been declining in South Africa. It's only starting to pick up now, in my opinion. But Amapiano came with a whole nother wave. Like, let's talk about that shit.
average his numbers now, he may actually suffer the same fate as most African rappers, like Shane
Damn.
Eagle. As new rappers, I imagine in Africa.
Hold up. Y'all remember my boy Shane? Shane. Oh, yeah. Shane suffered a pretty heavy dent for sure. God damn. He had a whole billboard, in New York with that album that has this red this lady with a red dress or some shit. I forgot the album name. But yeah, Shane also touched New York. Shane kicked it with Dreamville, dude. Shane kicked it with Dreamville. I'm talking about Boss and them. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, Shane kicked it with Earth Gang. You feel me? But then, as soon as right after that little link up that he had with Dreamville, things just started to die out for the boy. It's like shit. Let me not say too much, but Shane talented as fuck. Damn, that boy fell off.
If he doesn't leverage his numbers now, he may actually suffer the same fate as most African rappers, like Shane Eagle. As new rappers, I imagine in Africa, and are straight taking out hip hop's market share. One
Yo, the fuck going on? Why is the sound doing that? Shit. This video was doing so well all along. Now the sound is getting fucked up and shit. But anyway, it's just a small little mistake on their part, but it's fine. We'll keep it moving.
One label that seems to understand leverage is Sony Music, as they did to Tyler what they did with Tinashe. In Tinashe's interview, she spoke about how Sony Music linked her up with some of their artists like Chris Brown in order to get her name out there.
Like, yes, that was labeling.
Yeah, knowing you, it actually hurts me that somebody put you in that position and
I was
forced
so
you to
young
do that.
too, which is crazy because I feel like I did that song when I just signed to that label. Like I was probably like 20.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
and I think the public perceives it as you doing
Of
that
course.
willingly and
Yeah.
not understanding that you lack a lot of control in that situation.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Let me get this straight. Is she complaining about making a song with Chris Brown, saying that she didn't want it for herself, but the label actually forced her to do it? Is that what we're complaining about over here? Because as far as I'm concerned, Nasty C is talking about the complete opposite of what she's talking about. Nasty has been trying to get a feature with these major artists or whatever. Either or, small or big. He just wanted to penetrate the market regardless. And Tinashe is out here complaining that she had a song with Chris Breezy at 20. Hold on. Let me just... Wait a minute. Let me give her a chance.
You do.
The
1,000%.
If any, you probably
And especially when it comes to singles, like for example that song with Chris, that was a song that I put, a lot of we all wanted it to be like this big moment, this big single. So I feel like in their mind they were like, you need this support. And he was like their biggest artist that they had on rhythmic radio at the time. And to me, I was like, well, this is a pop song, so I really don't feel like we should put Chris on it. Like that, I don't like that. That doesn't compute to me. But I don't know.
And they
Chris
recently
is
did the
pop,
same
though.
with Tyler, as they put it on a tour in Europe with Chris Brown and ended up with a Travis Scott feature on a now globally successful hit, Water. And although many questioned if Travis Scott was the right choice, those who understand music understood that it was all a numbers game, as Travis Scott is one of the biggest artists at the moment, and all that pairing
It's all a numbers game. Most people who understand music, they understand that it's all a numbers game. That's just how the label works. Who can we put on this song so we can maximize profit? It's all a numbers game, nothing personal. A lot of people were mad at the fact that why Travis Scott hopping on that Tyler song? Oh my word, this, that, and the third. We wanted this guy, we wanted that guy, we wanted Chris Brown, blah, blah, blah. Bro, Who's going to bring us the most numbers? This is a business at the end of the day. You need to put yourself in the label's position, and then you'll be able to understand the decisions that they make. The artist makes the product, but we as the label have to distribute the product accordingly, and we need to make sure that we make our investment back with profit, so that the artist also eats. You know what I'm saying? So Travis Scott being put on that song was just a label move, a business move, nothing personal. But yeah, obviously the fans are not gonna like that. Like, the fans are not supposed to even understand that. I mean, you feel me? At the end of the day, these people are signed to record labels, major record labels. And at the end of the day, the label needs to make profit. They need to make the investment back, and everybody has to eat. So we're not gonna make a decision off of what the fans want most of the time. We'll make a decision off of what do the stats say. How much money can we make with this guy? How much money can we make with that guy? Which investment is more feasible? Which investment is more which investment is gonna give us the highest return on investment, ROI? You feel me?
Did help Tyler get a name out there. With regards to Nasty C, fans have noticed a whole lot of interviews that Nasty C has done overseas, but not all agree on the effectiveness of such. As for example with Tyler, the reason why many people watch her interviews is because she has a global hit song, and many people around the world are interested in the story. But when Nasty C does interviews, they are mostly watched by his own fans, which basically means that the podcast that he's on end up gaining more than he does. All in all, Nasty C seemed to have had much bigger features before Def Jam, like A$AP Ferg or French Montana, when these guys still had some international market share, than he did after signing with Def Jam. And don't get this wrong, features aren't the only way to get in, but fans just don't think enough is being done anyway in any regard. All of these recent events have led to questions of whether or not Def Jam is actually capable of breaking Nasty C in these international markets. But equally, some question if Nasty C does have the superstar factor to make it out in these markets. And that is because markets like the US are spoiled with endless supply of talent. But you guys let us know what you think about this. Do you believe Def Jam is still the right label for Nasty C? Do you think they've done enough to actually push Nasty C in international markets? And do you think Nasty C has enough talent to actually stand out in these international markets, enough for him to actually become a household name? Comment your thoughts down below.
Does Nasty C have enough talent to blow up? He already showcased that he does have enough talent to do whatever the fuck he wants to do, as far as flex on the mic or rap or freestyle. Or I mean, he went on Sway, he did his thing. He went on the radar, he did his thing too. Like, he's been showing us that he's got skill, that he can rap. Cool. Did the label push him enough? I feel like the label did what they could as far as investments, as far as resources are concerned, because they have to share resources amongst several artists, some who are even way bigger than Nasty. Skip it, okay. And yeah, shit. Maybe if he was signed to a different label, they would have moved a different way. Maybe. Okay. And I guess we'll never know until it actually happens. I'm not sure how many albums he's yet to do with Def Jam, but this could have been the second last album, the one that he just dropped recently. I Love It Here, some shit of that nature. Let's just hope that the next label will just do him justice. Sheesh, I don't know, man. But yeah, if he's losing ears in the United States, if he's only gaining ears here in Africa and getting bigger in Africa, and it's not looking too good for the boy. It's not looking too good for the boy. But then again, I mean, he's here home and he's still eating regardless. He's a god here. He's him here. So shout out to Nasty C. Shout out to you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Just thought it'd be an interesting video to check out. And it actually turns out that it was actually interesting. So yeah. Shit, I should probably do this more often. Listen here, click the like down there. Okay, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you click the subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you're notified when I drop a new video. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, peace. I'm talking about.
Hello, talking that nigga, that snitch. I ain't been up on the block in a minute.